Hello everyone, the Chart Guys have been working on an introductory technical analysis course for quite some time now, and after surveying hundreds of traders with what would be the most sought after information regarding technical analysis, we came up with this course, When to Enter and Exit. It covers over 5 hours of the basics on when to enter and exit, and we feel after watching this course it will help build a foundation of technical analysis knowledge which will eliminate a lot of the uncertainty in the world of trading stocks. So the course outline, we go over the psychology of trading, establishing a game plan, the different indicators we use to signal a bullish and bearish entry, how to recognize support and resistance levels, poor entries where traders make mistakes, exit targets, how do you know where to sell your trade, where to place stop losses, that's very important, minimizing losses is what keeps you in the game long term, my personal preparations, how I go about getting ready for each trading day, and then piecing it all together, utilizing all the information we just learned and how to apply that in the real world for making successful, profitable trades. As a bonus, we also include a lot of information on finding entries and exits utilizing patterns, and you can find these patterns on every time frame on pretty much any stock and commodity trading, and certainly being able to recognize those patterns can give you an edge as well. So we hope you will check this out. Again, it's an introductory level course. So if you are new to technical analysis and trying to get a firm grasp on things and feeling a little bit overwhelmed, then this course is for you. I hope you check it out. Appreciate you watching. Looking at gold and the dollar, let's start with the dollar on the hourly time frame. So nice bullish continuation, higher lows and higher highs is the prevailing pattern. We consolidated, formed a base at 102.80, new high. Another higher low at 102.97. So the recent high is 103.56, and there's not much resistance zooming back. You really have to zoom all the way back on the weekly time frame 13 years ago to be looking at where to be looking for resistance. And right now I'm looking, there's a range in the 104 area to be looking, if I can zoom in here. So looking up at 103.98. and 104.28, the high of back in December 2002. So those are a couple resistance levels, and again, there aren't many resistance levels. You can see these are the highest prices we've seen since then. Bulls in full control of the dollar still. And bears are in full control of the gold. Here is hourly time frame. There's the dump. Every bounce we've seen has been short term and led to a lower high. So we look at this lower high, 1132.90, pull back a new low. Another lower high, 1132.42, and now the bulls are going to try and form a higher low compared to 1122.64, and then get above 1132.90. That will indicate that the short-term bounce is underway and have us looking up at 1144 psychological resistance, which rejected multiple attempts as well. So the 4-hour chart saw a bullish reversal hammer, but no confirmation. So still weakness on the 4-hour chart. We've seen now 8 red candlesticks in a row. And looking at that 1125 support line that I drew in yesterday's video, and that's where the bulls are attempting to bounce off of. The RSI here on the 4-hour chart is down in the low 20s, so we're certainly anticipating that to cool off a little bit. And looking for a bullish MACD, the 4-hour chart bullish MACD cross gives nice indications. But as of right now, until we confirm a bullish reversal candlestick, the bears are still in control on this time frame. So the bulls still have a lot of work to do, and that has led to further big-time strength in these bear miners. We've seen huge gains in 2 days now with this dump. The bull volume is there. Now we have the higher highs, the highest price we've seen in 3 months on these bear miners. JDST is breaking out on the weekly. If we close above 46.31, we close above the upper Bollinger Band. And the next resistance we're looking at is 51.65, and then on up to 60.10 as the next resistance. So there's not a ton of resistance levels here, and I don't really like looking back at previous price action for these 3 times ETFs because time decay is such a big factor. And if all else were equal, if gold were the exact same price and if the market were the exact same price, we would still be lower than where we were back in May and June because of that time decay effect. So keep that in mind. These previous price resistance, we really don't have anything else to go off of on these 3 times ETFs, but I would be more concerned with the price action of gold and the dollar in the here and now than I would be looking at previous resistance. So checking back in now on dust, very similar, full-on breakout, a lot weaker close though. Look at that upper wick. This is a bearish reversal inverted hammer, and you look at JDST and it's nowhere near that weak. So JDST without a doubt had a stronger close today, and we'll see if that shows up and follows through tomorrow. So 71.47 is dust resistance, and the next resistance on the weekly for dust would be up at 90.40. So again, what's that? Almost 30%, 25% to the upside before we get the next weekly resistance. So that's why I'm not putting too much weight into those levels. But the bulls want to close above the upper Bollinger Band of 65.17 to be in breakout mode on the weekly as we head into next week. That is the goal for the bulls. So right now, JDST a bit stronger than dust. And we'll look at the weekly time frame for these bull miners. And in all honesty, if you are still in these bull miners, you should have been stopped out by now. The low of 720 was your absolute must-hold level. As soon as that broke, you should have triggered out with a stop loss because another leg to the downside was very clearly coming. And at this point, we've seen it happen now 3 times. So it's no surprise when it keeps occurring, the pattern and history repeating itself. So the next support that we're looking at down here, 555 was the low. I'm looking at 502 as the next support on NUGT. And for JNUG, same thing, the low of 606 should have stopped you out as soon as that broke and would have saved significant moves to the downside, over 25% from when you would have stopped out to where we are now. So looking down at 424, and the next level of support is 385. So bears in full control of the miners and looking for short-term oversold bounces on gold, but until they see some significant turnaround, and again, 2 green candlesticks in a row on the daily time frame. We have not seen that happen. The last time we saw 2 green days in a row on gold was back on November 3rd and 4th. It has been almost 6 weeks since we have not seen 2 green days in a row. So keeping all that in mind, we'll see how we end the week tomorrow. RSI is now under 20 on the daily time frame for gold, and the bulls are trying to defend 1125 psychological support. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you over the weekend.